I guess since we're kicking off the week, we'll try to keep a focus more of like an outlook than a review of last week.
Typically, October has been very bullish for Bitcoin. Bitcoin does react pretty well to seasonal trends. For once, I think on these videos, I'm actually looking for reasons to potentially get into some sort of swing long position here.
All right, guys, what's up? It's late in the weekend. Well, actually, I guess you guys are listening to this on Monday, kicking off a fresh week. This is the best place to keep up with crypto. I'm Luke, my co-host, TRADERMAYNE. Maine, how you living this week, man?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good.
On your feed, it looks like you're more California than I am. I didn't know you guys had such nice beaches over there.
We actually have amazing beaches here in Vancouver. Unfortunately, they're only nice a few months out of the year, but May through mid-September, it's awesome, man. No surfing, unfortunately, but beautiful beaches.
Man, I wish we had nice beaches. I've been trying to focus more on a little bit of a workout routine since the market's still so shit. And I took your advice. I'm drinking milk again. I'm getting 2 or 3 glasses. I'm not you drink a full gallon. I just want to
Not right now. When I was bulking, when I'm trying to put on size, gallon of milk a day. Anyone who's in the weightlifting community, you've heard of GoMad, gallon of milk a day.
Dude, when I Googled that, why does everyone on the internet say milk is so bad? There's like a giant milk conspiracy. Everyone hates on milk.
Yeah, they're haters, man. They don't want you to be huge.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It's think about it this way, man. They're like, oh, milk is for cows. Well, it's like, well, how fucking big is a cow? Huge.
Yeah,
that's how I'm trying to be.
Never thought about it like that. Yeah, I've been getting down my 2 or 3 glasses. All right. What's good?
Man.
What's good with the market this week? I guess since we're kicking off the week, we'll try to keep a focus of how this can help, more of an outlook than a review of last week. But one thing we have to touch on, one coin that was the best performer in the last week, I know people are going to be looking to trade it this week, is XRP. It was up 40% last week. It looks like the move happened because Ripple filed to have their SEC case. They want a judgment made immediately, and that was enough. That was enough to get traders in the gear. Do you trade XRP?
You know what? I've traded XRP, but I was not part of this last wave, unfortunately. So congrats to the XRP moon boys. How many more X until you're at break even from buying above $2? 1 or 2? You're almost there. But yeah, it's trading like they won the case. Generally, when things like XRP, Doge, and coins in that same vein start looking good, LTC even was kind of looking good. I usually get a little worried because those are oftentimes like the harbingers of doom before Bitcoin absolutely falls off a cliff. But yeah, I mean, XRP looks great. A lot of alts are setting up similarly to how XRP did. So I guess we'll wait and see. It still looks pretty good to me, but the scary thing is Bitcoin is kind of on the cliff's edge right now. So could go either way.
Big takeaway I get from XRP when a move like that happens, because I was watching it when it was up 5%, kind of thinking to myself, should I punt on this? Like, is this worth sitting in front of my computer and tracking? Because when a catalyst-driven move like that, you never know how people are going to react. And my takeaway from this is when there's no narrative in the market, like there's nothing that people want to trade, no one's excited about other altcoins, there's not this consensus about what theme is doing well, something like a Ripple case, that single catalyst can actually pump a coin. Because everyone's bored, everyone's looking to rush into something, and I do think that's what played a role into why XRP did so well and pumped 40%. The strange thing, though, the reason I didn't buy is I was thinking, like, what's the best case scenario here? Like, let's say their file to get an immediate ruling happens. They win the case. Ripple's not a security. They beat the SEC. That's good for crypto. I'm not denying that. But in 2022, what's the optimal outcome here for Ripple when a lot of their solutions, their use case they described that people used to love back in the day, which was Ripple is going to be used by banks, going to do these interbank transfers. Stablecoins do that better. They can move at the same speed. They work on every chain. The volatility doesn't happen, so the value doesn't go back and forth. You don't have insiders dumping billions on you every month. I was like, yeah, even if they win the case, it's just going to be. I don't see how Ripple does well here for 6 months or a year. I think it's always going to be these short pumps.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ripple is going to be kind of relegated to one of those coins that just has kind of random market cycles of its own, where it does a 2 or 3x. I don't know if we're going to see Ripple make a new all-time high anytime soon, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin doesn't, wipe out, take out the lows, if we see it trading at 80 cents, even as high as $1.
Yeah.
If you're a trader, all you care about is volatility. I saw a very funny post under, I think it was Hasaka, making one of his kind of cryptic, I told you so posts about Ripple. And someone's like, oh, how can you trade this, dog shit? Like, this is a shitty blah, blah. It's like, we don't care, is what he effectively said. And I completely agree. It's like, if you're a trader, all week trade is volatility. I don't care what the coin is. They are all shit coins, including Bitcoin. So the volatility is there and there's a narrative to match. By all means, go after it.
I guess it's also showed that if they do win the case, it's pretty clear now that Ripple will react. I think it would react really positively. Yeah. It's just, this case has dragged on for multiple years now. So this update to the case means maybe, we get something in 6 months or a year. Like, who knows? The timeline on this is just so murky. But congrats to the XRP traders. If it pumps again, if they win the case, take some profits. If you're a trader, I think that's going to be a dream short.
I definitely think there's a lot of people who bought Ripple above $1.
Yeah.
Who are just itching to sell. So if you got in at 30 or 40 cents and it gets anywhere near there, don't be silly, right? Make sure you take some profits at the very least.
All right. Enough hating on Ripple. That's fun to watch, though. Number two, Maine, what else happened this week? I didn't track ETH and Bitcoin, the catalyst of what was driving that too much. I can't even look at those charts anymore, man. It's pain. But what was driving the market this week? Was there anything specific that caused some volatility?
We obviously had FOMC happen. We were able to trade that pretty successfully. If you've been following us along, it kind of went as expected. I think a lot of people were really grasping at straws for bullishness, saying, well, he said the same things that he said at Jackson Hole, and that's bullish that it's not worse. I'm like, but it was bad. So saying the same bad things again is not bullish, right? I guess the one bullish strand you could pull from it is they've effectively said that, they have an idea of where they're going to cap the rate hikes at. I think it was 4.25 or 4.75. That's as high as they're going to go. So that's a good sign, I guess, but we're not there yet. That still leaves room for at least 2 more hikes in the next 2 meetings, which aren't for a while, right? And a lot of what Powell was saying was just not good. He said the housing market probably going to collapse. They basically said that they are willing to crater pretty much everything because it will allow us to then have expansion again, like we had over the last decade. So right. The good news is Powell is saying eventually the money printer will turn back on, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be happening anytime soon. 6 to 12 months at the very, front end of that prediction for a timeline. I think it's still going to be a while. I do still think things, unfortunately, probably get worse. But the market's not been fun to trade. Like if you're staring at Bitcoin and you're staring at Ethereum, it's like watching paint dry right now. Not super fun. There's been a lot better plays like Ripple, like Atom, right? Where there's been major swings that have been caught. And then obviously on the downside as well, once they kind of top out. And those are just high time frame trades, right? Like you could be checking these charts once a day, once every few days. You do not need to be on the low time frame trying to scout Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, unless you're just absolutely demented like some of us are.
There's a time to make your eyes bleed and eat Adderall and look at the charts for 12 hours.
It's now.
It's not that time. It just isn't, let your eyes rest. It's just not the time. So anyways, I'll say it again. I can't wait to be wrong on this 1 week, but I think people should stop watching the Jerome Powell Fed speeches. It's now been 6 months. People tune in every single week or every other week. They wait for him to say something bullish. He never does. The crypto markets get their hopes up and then we sell off.
We're at the price that we were before the meeting. Like it literally was trading at 19K. We spiked up, we spiked down, and then we came right back. So unless you're trying to catch that move, what are you doing, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I've reclaimed that hour of my week and I'm using it to work out. So I hope some of you guys are doing the same.
Drink milk.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just chugging milk while Jerome Powell's on and then I put it down when he's done. Some other crazy shit happened. We have an update to the Do Kwon tracker, the case. Some people say that they could make a movie about crypto. You don't need to make a movie. Like we're watching a movie play out in real time on Twitter. Do Kwon, founder of Terra Luna, he's been reportedly on the run, and we just got more information about it this past week. It looks like Interpol has put out a red notice or some kind of notice that 150 different countries, if you find this man, we need him. They're trying to charge him with something, and Do Kwon actually tweeted while he's on the run that he said, I'm not giving my GPS coordinates to anyone unless we're friends, unless we have a business deal. Dude, we have someone on the run, and it's playing out in real time on crypto Twitter. You can't even make it up, dude.
And at the same time, there's a bunch of shillers trying to pump Luna Classic. Like, the fact that anyone gives this guy any kind of respect when there's probably legitimate evidence that, he led to, people potentially taking their own lives and definitely ruining and bankrupting tons of people is crazy to me. We have this weird thing where we kind of evangelize and like put these, people up on a pedestal like Suzu, like Do Kwon. And it turns out they're actual criminals, Do Kwon being a major one. Yeah, no extradition, no problem. Every country on the planet basically has an arrest warrant out for this guy, and I imagine he'll get caught, sooner than later. But yeah, what a movie. People honestly thought that this guy was going to revolutionize crypto and stablecoins with Luna like 6 months ago. And now he's literally wanted by every country that is part of the UN. That's kind of nuts.
No one's safe. In the bull markets, everyone's a god. In the bear market, no one is safe, dude. No one is spared.
No, exactly.
Broadly, what else can we expect? We have Bitcoin and ETH kind of hanging on a cliff, and you have the very one-off catalyst-driven altcoin trades, things like XRP. And when people want to pump Luna Classic for no reason, obviously that gives you a selling opportunity. What else, though? What else is kind of driving things if you were to paint like a broad picture? I saw the dollar was pumping. We have the pound collapsing. Paint a broad picture of what's going down and what people can expect this week.
So, I mean, in typical CT fashion, everyone is currency experts tonight because they've halted trade. They actually halted trading on the pound because it opened and dropped 4% down to 1.03, which I believe is the lowest it's ever been since 1985. Which is crazy. So football is officially soccer until further notice. That being said, I don't think that it's that big of a deal. Like, I do know that people are freaking out about this, and a bunch of people who have never traded a currency in their life are giving their hot macro takes. I do think that it will rebound. I do think that the dollar is coming up into strong resistance. So I do think that we are due for a bounce in the pound, in the euro, and in risk assets. Both equities and Bitcoin are hanging out near some major lows, the June lows, effectively, where that first crash happened. The question is, do we bounce before the lows get taken out, or do we take the lows out and then bounce? Either way, I'm actually starting to try and formalize a plan to get long for some sort of bear market rally. If we break below the June lows on Bitcoin and on equities and we stay below them, then yeah, look out below, like bring out your crazy low ball targets. But I'm hoping that we get some sort of sweep of the low, or we just don't actually take them at all. And we start setting up for a bear market rally here. Typically, October has been very bullish for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin does react pretty well to seasonal trends. September's always been awful for crypto, and we saw that this month as well. So for once, I think on these videos, I'm actually looking for reasons to potentially get into some sort of swing long position here on risk. So that would be on equities, on Bitcoin, and then I consider GBP, the pound and euro. They move along with risk as well because they're both denominated against the dollar. So could be some potential exciting long opportunities coming into October here.
I think the one period of crypto history right now that it pays to go back and study is like end of 2018 going into 2019,
exactly,
where Bitcoin is setting up for one of two possibilities right now. And the end of 2018, we had a Bitcoin which was kind of just sitting at 6K, 6,200. We've been in the bear market for about a year, and everyone was looking for that reason to get long again, let the party go on. Eventually, 6K breaks down, we drop another 50%, and then the true bottom was found. Could have that scenario, right? That's still a possibility. I think that's less likely, but it's a possibility. The other one is 2019, beginning of 2019, when Bitcoin would basically bounce off 3K, then we go to 3,100. We'd bounce off 3,100, then we go to 32. And for like 4 or 5 months, price wasn't bullish or bearish. Everyone thought we were going for new lows, but truly we were just in the range at the end of a bear. And then we slowly but surely, week after week, would be up 2%, 2%. And after a couple months go by, then we actually break higher. So it's kind of like place your bets. Is there one more big collapse due for in this bear market, or is this the range now that we're setting where 16K, 18K, that's going to be kind of the lows, and it just chops everyone up that's getting too optimistic. Those are really the two scenarios. And the nice thing is Bitcoin hasn't been around long, but it's been around long enough where we do have some examples now of what different bottoming patterns can look like. I think both of those provide a really nice guide. You still have to guess which one it's going to be, but I think that at least gives you a starting point on what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think the lack of volatility, or the less volatility we begin to get, is actually a good thing, because generally you have the first part of the bear market, which is the massive expansion to the downside. And then you want to see that range form. You want to see the bear market of volatility. It's no longer about, lower highs. It's about the fact that price just isn't moving very much at all. So if we can get to that point, I do think that might be a silver lining. That might actually be a good thing, but still a little too early to tell. But yeah, let's wait and see. I mean, hopefully we get some nice longs, I think, in a nice little bear market rally here in October.
The one thing to watch, a rather unorthodox indicator, people joke all the time about top signals, like Katy Perry painting her nails with crypto. Some of the bottom signals I like to look for is I usually run into Jeebus playing online poker. A lot of guys switch to online poker, so that's one. That's already happened. The second thing, which I haven't seen happen yet, is a lot of crypto people will switch to trading FX because they just think that foreign exchange gives you more leverage. There's more opportunities. You have the pound collapsing, the dollar's rising. All of a sudden, they think that is the better market for them going forward. When that happened last cycle, when there was more people talking about FX and the dollar and the pound, that was basically the inflection point. And then Bitcoin and crypto started to do well, and people realized, why am I trying to trade this versus the banks? This is crypto is the easiest game in the world still. I just have to wait for things to go up. So when that happens, if you're listening, if you're waiting for that to happen, you're wondering why so many people are focused on FX, it's a good thing. When everyone's focused on it, that means crypto might be ready to go.
Yeah, as someone who trades a lot of FX, crypto is way easier, and you just need to wait for it to go back to easy mode. There is no easy mode with FX. It is an absolute grind. So hopefully, more people talking about TradFi. Let's get it, man.
Yeah. Anything else we should be watching this week? Specific ETH levels, specific Bitcoin levels? I'm trying to remember, since this is Monday morning for people. They might have their screens open. They might be looking at some price levels. Do you have anything for them?
So I'm looking at June's low on Bitcoin at 17.6. Any sort of run below that low and a quick reclaim. So I'm talking same day kind of thing. I don't want to see any sort of high time frame closure below that low. I'm looking for longs and some sort of mean reversion. If we continue to chop around here, around this kind of 18.5 to 19K area, and we fail to break down, same thing. I'm probably looking to actually position myself into longs. I do think we're due for some relief, and I do think that we're due for a mean reversion. Bitcoin, mean reversion could be as high as 21.5 to 22 if we get it. So fingers crossed, because that would look good for a lot of altcoins. XRP Moon Boys, that'd give some things, some room to run. I think Atom, after having a huge run up and having a bit of a shakeout, it's trading back. I think it went as high as 16, back to in the 13s now. I think that's setting up, assuming Bitcoin doesn't shit the bed, for another potential leg as well. And Solana is another coin that I'm watching. Solana, if Bitcoin is able to kind of hold its ground and the market gets bullish in October, I've been watching Solana closely over the last few days. It's extremely reflexive. Every little uptick we've had in Bitcoin has been extra on Solana. That's generally something that I really like when I'm looking for altcoins to long instead of just longing Bitcoin or Ethereum itself. And Solana has a lot of room from the upside. It's trading around 31, 32. I could see this trading as high as 40 to 45 if Bitcoin and the rest of the market cooperates.
There's a lot of alt setups, Solana, Avalanche, that are just going to be kingmaker trades. If Bitcoin sells off, gives you a nice entry on some of these. So definitely something to watch out for. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those charts, and I hope you guys can make some money this week. Also, reminder to drop some questions down below, comment them, tweet at us. Let me know if there's any topics, questions, coins, milk drinking frequencies that you want answered. We will cover it on next week's show. We always do that. You can get featured on the show. Also, we have a little update for you guys. This show is going to be coming out on a new YouTube channel now. The link is down below. Subscribe to that, because that's where these episodes are going to be coming out. So I don't want you guys to miss those. I think I'm also going to be incentivizing, let's just say, some people to sign up. So you want to be one of the first couple people to sign up Maybe you can win some money. I don't know. Maybe it's free Bitcoin, whatever it is. We'll work something out. But make sure you guys subscribe for that. And appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Have a good week. Maine, appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, guys. See you later.